Imagine going on 5 fantastic dates with someone. The conversation flows, the chemistry is obvious. Then you find out they are actively dating 4 other people at the exact same time. In many parts of the world, that is a blatant betrayal. In America, that is the standard accepted baseline. We tend to assume the steps of falling in love are universal human traits. The reality is that the progression of romance is bound by highly localized, rigid cultural rules. To make sense of the American dating scene, you have to throw out your global assumptions and learn a uniquely individualistic chronological rulebook. That timeline starts right at the beginning, the first date. Globally, there is a heavily entrenched default that the man pays the bill. But in the US, going Dutch, splitting the check evenly, is widely expected. This creates immediate friction. If a man insists on paying, it can actually backfire, coming across as patronizing or offensive rather than chivalrous. What's the rule where you live? Let us know in the comments. Who should pay on date number 1? This first interaction sets the American tone, prioritizing financial independence and equality over traditional global gender roles. Move past those initial dates, and you enter the active dating phase. This introduces the concept of building a roster, or multi-dating. In most places, going on several consecutive dates with the same person carries an inherent implication that you are now exclusively focused on each other. The American default state is free agency. You operate under the assumption that both of you are single and looking until a literal, verbal contract says otherwise. This flowchart illustrates how that relationship timeline works. You can see how dating multiple partners all funnels down to a strict bottleneck. That bottleneck is known as the talk, a mandatory, explicit conversation where someone finally asks, "So, what are we?" Without successfully passing through this specific conversational gateway, both parties remain authorized to pursue other people. Within this framework, the transition from dating to relationship is governed by explicit verbal agreements, rather than shared time or unspoken assumptions. Once you actually become an established exclusive couple, the rules shift to the public sphere, where acceptable public displays of affection vary wildly depending on where you live. But the real test usually arrives with the first major external validation of the relationship, meeting the parents. Across much of the globe, this is an event of immense weight, a formal pre-engagement ritual. In the US, it is surprisingly casual, often taking the form of a simple weekend lunch. The American dating framework deliberately keeps family approval strictly separated from personal romantic validation. Timelines, of course, also end in dissolution. Here, we find the phenomenon of ghosting, the primary modern alternative to a formal breakup. This data visualization shows the statistical reality of the trend. By highlighting the 73% statistic against the total population baseline, you can see that an overwhelming majority of Americans have experienced someone simply disappearing on them. If you've ever been ghosted, go ahead and raise your hand. You can put it down now. They still can't fee you. Ghosting is the byproduct of a dating culture built on endless options. In an environment of hyper-optionality, vanishing is often easier than initiating a difficult conversation. Pull back from the chronological timeline, and the entire American dating system reveals itself as a cohesive sociological framework. Weird external behaviors, like splitting bills, juggling multiple dates, or even ghosting, trace back directly to core national values. They are the practical application of fierce independence, hyper-optionality, and the supremacy of personal choice. This system functions as a deliberate cultural machine, prioritizing individual freedom and the power of choice over collective tradition in the search for love. What is the most jarring or confusing dating difference you've experienced in your own culture or travels? Let us know in the comments below.